Just look at her. Vice Admiral Holdo Gender Studies herself, with all of the grace, elegance, and eloquence of Admiral Hubris herself.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit a nerve? Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. Apparently they can't sell these. Well, gee, I don't know. I don't want a bitchy feminist with a gun to talk down to all the people in Star Wars as an action figure. Sorry, I like the cute ones. I like the little porgies. They're cute. I collect them. Got a whole bunch of them. I don't want her because it's not a good character. She's not interesting. And the movie wasn't very good. So no, I'm not going to be buying it. And nobody else did either. And if you ever check out Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, he kept seeing and visiting the same Vice Admiral Holdo action figure at his local store for years. Years on end. And it was the same one because it had the same dust marks and it had the same indentations or imperfections in the packaging. The same one. Nobody wants her. And gee, she's so wonderful and likable. I can only imagine why.
Sheer fucking hubris.
It's pretty much the exact same character as the one we didn't like in Star Trek. Exactly. But you know, sure, why? Why aren't these toys selling? Let's see. We'll check it out from, let's see if I can do these live. There we go. Bleeding Fool. Diamond Toys says no demand for Disney Star Wars characters. No shit. Except maybe Porgs, because Porgs are adorable. And they're cute. They got the little faces and they look up to you like you're baby Yodas.
Do the magic hand thing. Come on, baby. Do the magic hand thing. I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, so what does this teach us? Make cute figures and Mecha will go over them and buy them all. I'm not kidding. You guys have no idea how many Porgs I have. You can't see them all. I got a lot. I need the really, really big one. That's the one I want. I want the big giant one. Diamond Toys says there's no demand. Well, gee, with characters like little Mary Ray Palpatine being the bestest Jedi ever.
You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku.
Stealing everything from Luke, between his lightsaber, his house, even his name. You don't want her. Even before we got the reveal that she was actually a Palpatine and they completely destroyed the entire Anakin's the Chosen One story arc, you know, for her, because she wasn't good enough as a character to actually earn any of her victories or her hero's journey on her own, you would think, what? That the character would sell? No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Rose Tico, completely waste of space on screen. The actress, I'm probably sure, is very, very lovely off camera. I'm sure she's very nice and wonderful. Needs to actually speak out and tell people that she was being used for their little narrative and agenda. And I don't know. Sorry, I get it. You're a working actress in Hollywood and you want to keep getting work. Sure, I got that. But you didn't get bullied off anything. Neither did Daisy Ridley. We know that. I don't care about these characters. And this one looks more like it's out of Spaceballs. And this other one looks like it's more out of Halo. It kind of looks Star Wars-y. Chuck Terceria, the president of Diamond Select Toys, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, was recently interviewed by RebelScum.com. And here is a portion of that interview that was very interesting. So Chris Wyman asks, with the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi back in 2017, to date, we've gotten a Luke Skywalker mini bust, a Praetorian Guard statue, an Executioner's Stormtrooper statue, some Porg bookends. Oh, I want Porg bookends! Needless to say, the episode 8 shelf has some room for characters. Are there plans to continue making product for the film? And he responds, as you know, what was done before last year, DST has no control over. GG Limited made those decisions. But as I said, Dev is still here guiding the brand, and we are aware of the past history. I will say, from what we have seen, the sales on the products from 7 and 8 were not too strong. I know these movies, as well as 9, have their fans, and those fans might say, GG just never did the right products or characters or formats, and they might be correct. However, we can only go by what we know. For sure, the door is not closed to the Star Trek products, and we are working on a couple of ideas for The Rise of Skywalker right now. We were not allowed to access all of the movie before it came out, so work could not begin until after the movie came out. We're keeping a very close eye on it, listening to fan feedback. So if there's demand, we're happy to satisfy it. If there's demand, ooh, wow, oh, wow. And they ask him again, The Rise of Skywalker hit theaters last December. It looks like there are just 3 pieces up for pre-order at this time. Those being the Sith Trooper mini bust, the Kylo Ren Dreamer Premier Collection statue, and the Kylo Ren Legends in 3-dimensional bust. I would imagine there's some very requested characters, especially in the ever-popular mini bust line that fans would like to see. Names like Emperor Palpatine, Poe Dameron, Zori Bliss, Babu Frick, Lando Calrissian, C-3PO, and more. Yeah, you speak on when we might see more characters from the final chapter in the 9-film Star Wars saga. And he answers. And he responds, as I mentioned before, we're working on some, but I have to ask, are you sure there's a lot of demand for those very requested characters? The overall demand for busts in Star Wars product is not what it was 10 or even 5 years ago. It's not just a GG issue either. The brand is very strong with The Mandalorian, The Clone Wars, and more new content to come, but as you know... But you all know what the production runs on collector products were in the past compared to now. We would very much love to make more products for the new movie. It's not like we're sitting behind our desks, wringing our hands, thinking, how can we stick it to the fans and not make busts that will make us money, right? We just, as of yet, have not seen enough fans that would buy the bust and have personal affection for some of the new characters. Well, no shit, they're terrible. They're bad characters. None of these characters made any sense. They're different and inconsistent from one movie to the other. And this is why you're here. Anybody can read the article. And I know a lot of YouTubers are doing and running with this article, doing videos on this. In my opinion, give me the cute things. This is what I like. This is why I can give Porgs a pass. This is why, in my opinion, and I know it's a worse movie, but I find it a little bit more watchable for The Last Jedi than Rise of Skywalker, because Rise of Skywalker is just so boring. It is that slow slog of J.J. Abrams garbage. At least I could take a couple minutes and be like, oh, there's a cute Porg bouncing around in the background of the ship. At least I could do that in Last Jedi for about a split second. Rise of Skywalker didn't even have any cute characters. Barely had droids. You have D.O. that nobody cares about because we all just look at it and say, okay, it's a Roomba up on its side with a megaphone for a head. It barely even looks like a droid. Not only that, it was kind of a sad little droid. Like, oh, it's afraid of people because it was kicked by its previous owners. I don't want the, like, abused little... Plus, J.J. Abrams gets all the money for it, doesn't he? And that's really what it's about. J.J. didn't create enough characters because he's got so much money coming in from HBO Max and his new deal there that he didn't create enough characters for this movie that were cute. I don't know. That's just part of it. 5 years ago, what happened 5 years ago? Well, a lot of these newer movies came out 5 years ago. These newer movies with not very good characters. They're not interesting. I don't want an action figure of a character that just talks down to the characters I actually like. I don't want that. So, of course, I'm not going to buy the Black Series Vice Admiral Gender Studies. No, I'm not going to buy anything other than a cute little pork, because all they do is hop around and they're like, here you go, I'm cute, buy me. That's fine. At least it's honest. At least it's honest. They're there because they're there as a marketing point. And I know that they were saying, Rian Johnson's like, oh, I'm going to go in and CGI these puffins because, well, rather than just completely editing them out of the movie, we'll just kind of make them Star Wars characters, so you'll have Star Warsy things in the background. That was at least one halfway decent decision. That's the problem with Rian Johnson movies, is he has like one halfway decent thing, and then he goes off on a bunch of stuff that doesn't belong there. And it works in a movie like Knives Out, which has nothing to do with Star Wars. It does not work when you come in and have something that's already established, like Star Wars. You can't come in and bring in a bunch of yo mama jokes and make it work in your universe. You can't bring in a bunch of real world garbage and political agendas and the exact same type of garbage people that we see complaining about stuff. And I know, don't let the bright red hair fool you. It's there's why I have bright red hairs, because 9 times out of 10 I was a punk rocker way back in the day. Just a little bit. That's part of why my hair is bright. And I don't want these people coming in and appropriating the punk hair, the punk look. They don't get it. They're not smart enough to even understand what they're talking about. They think, oh yes, equality, equality, equality. White men suck. White man bad. White man bad.
White male rage. White male rage. White male rage.
Shove your white male rage up your ass, lady. And shove these Star Wars characters too, because they're not They're not good. They're not interesting. They're not even any character I give a crap about. You give me Star Wars on screen, I expect to see Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, maybe Lando Calrissian in one of the later movies. I don't expect to see little Mary Ray Palpatine. I don't expect to see a bunch of garbage. Same thing goes for Star Trek, too. We've had the same type of garbage come in and infest Star Trek with this hateful new modern worldview that doesn't work in my hopeful, optimistic fantasy life of science fiction. At least the fun ones. At least the funner. Wow. Words.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
I'm not dropping anything, Brie. The point is, Last Jedi was still part of this unpleasant, not very fun escapism. And you failed. You dropped the ball on it, admit it, move on. And it's nice to know that at least they're realizing, and it only took a lot of these companies going under to do so, or at least hurting for a little bit. You can't not think that Star Wars toys not selling didn't have some negative impact on Toys R Us. And of course, they're not going to be the entire thing that collapses an entire department store, basically. That's just the side of the times, but at the same time, people want to buy this stuff. I got an office full of it. It's coming out of my ears. I got more merch from stuff than I even know what to do with at this point. Of course, my fandoms are all over the place, and I don't just like Star Wars, or just like Star Trek, or just like science fiction. I like a lot of different things. Give us good products, give us good movies, and then we will buy the stuff. Give us a good character, we'll buy your product. This isn't it, though. And definitely check out Ichibaka's links here at his blog. This is from Bleeding Fool. Bleeding Fool is the parody Bleeding. I always forget which one's the real one and which one's the parody one. This is more of a, I don't know if parody is the word for it, but yeah. Definitely check out that, and Disney Star Wars is Dumb on his blog. I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.